It is a pretty depressing time for gamers all over the world right now. I know everyone has seen like all the new stuff that's been coming up with Valve recently, just came out last night, but the biggest thing that's been on everyone's mind is probably the new Steam machine and the new pricing that we just got for it. Now, I love games. I love playing them. They're my favorite pastime. I like to do whenever I'm, not streaming, not recording, not doing anything, whenever I have like my day off and some time to myself. It's really fun. And thankfully I have a PC here that, can run those games, and I really enjoy playing them, especially the indie scene. The indie games fucking rock. I love them. They're like the best thing ever. I also play stuff on my console too, in case like my PC can't handle these kind of things, but for the most part, I, am a PC gamer at heart. Now, what really sucks though is that the new Steam machine price came out, and it's pretty disappointing. I would have loved to see this thing in action. I would have spent like a good chunk of money, as much as a console would probably cost, just to use this machine, because I was actually looking forward to it. I would have loved to, put my Steam library on a console screen. I can plug it into like the TV and everything. It would have been like the greatest thing ever. But I'm sure, as everyone knows, like when it comes to AI stuff, all this inflation going on with how, parts are being just absolutely scalped. It's unfortunate to see, but this is just the reality that we live in. So this was a pretty big blow to me. I am very disappointed. I'm surprised it wasn't more. I know I was expecting like a really high price tag, especially with how much praise this thing was getting, but it just seems so bad to see like how bad the gaming industry is right now when it comes to these pricing. Not even with this, but like with games in general, everything costs like way more, like almost double what it usually costs whenever the games are coming out. So now we got to see the price, and it does not look good. It's not worth it at all. I'm pretty sure Valve also said that you're better off just getting like a console or building your own PC from scratch, because the specs for this thing are not as good as what you get from a regular, build your own PC or a console. While yes, it is like a mini PC in a way. You want to get your hands a little dirty, you want to see how things turn out. It just does not seem worth it for the price. You're better off just building it. So yeah, like here we go. First, like there's 4 different tiers of it. Kind of weird, but you got the first one, 512 gigs for over $1,000. Really weird there. For the controller, you can get it for an extra $100. Don't know why you want to do that. I know the Steam controller is very popular too, but I don't know why you wouldn't include that in general if you're like someone who's new to the whole PC. If this is like your first console, I don't know why you wouldn't want to include that in there. Like maybe it's just the parts thing all over the place again, but then it goes even to a steeper price with like the 2 terabytes without the controller, which is $1,300, and then the 2 terabytes with the controller for $1,400. It is not a good setup here. Now, I did see some specs when it comes to this thing. I saw some little comparison screenshots when it comes to stuff like the PS5 and that machine, and the PS5 looks significantly better. The graphics look way better, even though they're running at a lower quality on the PS5 from what I've seen. And when you go onto the Steam machine, if you like up that quality as much as you can, it kind of does not compare. You can probably get really close to it, but I don't think it would be optimal to pay just that much money for something that a PS5 can do for a much cheaper price. And I'm pretty sure also the next Xbox, I forget what it's called, the Helix, I think that's what the name is, but it's basically doing what the Steam machine is doing, and it's going to be crossing over your Steam library, which I think it's going to be great. I'm excited to see how that turns out. That is something that's going to be, put in the right direction. I know they hype this thing up, but they're basically shooting themselves in the head with this thing. Not even like shooting themselves in the foot. Like, why would you put this out there knowing that you can already do all this stuff on your PC? There's going to be a new feature coming out for the new Xbox where you can play your Xbox games and your Steam library all together, and you're just upping the price because the parts are going to be even more expensive than they already are. It just did not make sense in the slightest to see the price for this thing, even though like you probably would have not made money off it, even if it was like a $700 machine. That's what a lot of people were probably thinking it would be, just because a lot of the consoles are like $500 or $600 already. You would expect like this thing, the Steam machine, to be a little bit higher in price because of how vast the library is when it comes to the Steam games. It has like the capacity as like a miniature PC. Why would you make the price so high if you know that it's unfortunate? Yeah, like everyone could have probably seen this coming with how expensive things are, but I don't know why you'd want to put this out anyway, just because everyone can just go build their own PC probably for a lot cheaper, or they can go buy a console, especially with I think the PS6 coming out next year. Hopefully, that's just what I've heard. It's just a rumor. But with all these things coming around, I don't know why you'd want to like put yourself in the console war just to, you know, overcharge people for a machine that does not run as well as it should compared to some of the other competitors. It makes no sense. Thankfully, though, like, it's not going to make a difference. I'm sure a lot of people are not going to buy this thing. The people who do, like, more power to you. If you want to spend $1,000 just to get a glorified miniature GameCube, then, you know, have at it. Do what you want. If you want to flex on it, for sure, do it. Do whatever you want. I don't care. But for me, though, I just don't see the appeal in buying this thing, especially with what it is now. Maybe sometime in the future, if like the whole parts thing didn't get so inflated when it comes to AI, if that didn't happen, like if this came out a few years ago, the price would have been so much lower and they probably would have made a little bit more of a profit. It would have been worth it. But now that I see it and I see the comparisons, I see all the different screenshots here, and especially with how expensive games are now, there is just no reason for me to buy this when later down the line I can build like my own PC. I have a pre-built one, but I can go off, buy all the parts for myself. I can interchange them, doesn't have to worry about that. I keep everything. It's just moving things around every so often just to give myself a better gaming experience. Like, you can buy the one-time purchase, but this is more for the long haul situation because I do want to play my PC games everywhere I go. I don't have a Steam Deck, unfortunately, so my whole entire gaming setup is just here in this room. Like they said, you're probably better off just going off to buy your own PC, get yourself a decent monitor, find something that has decent specs. I'm sure like even the bare minimum would work, but you know, just keep that in mind whenever you're looking at this kind of thing. You can do so much more on a PC than you could for this machine, and you can also probably do just the same amount as a console would do. So if I had to pick one, I'd probably say just go build your own PC. Like they said, it's way more worth it. You'll have more options with that anyway, but yeah, this is just, it's really sad. I am really disappointed to see how the Steam Machine came out. Maybe sometime in the future, if the prices go down before its initial release, then we may see a price difference. I doubt that though, because I'm sure pre-orders are probably going to be up here pretty soon. But this is, you know, still disappointing. So let me know what y'all think. I just wanted to talk about this because it was just such a hot button issue right now, and I really want to give my own 2 cents on it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.